What if I told you this wasn't recording? Did you freak
I
out?
see that it is recording, so I'm not worried.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I
know
just
what we
hit,
would do.
I don't know. All right, so we hit pause.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
Because she's left all her school for right now. Like,
No, do you have that? Do you procrastinate?
Okay, I did not leave
oh,
all my
I
stuff for
procrastinate.
right now.
I procrastinate so much. It's really bad.
I think Chrissy's a procrastinator, and
No,
I have.
no. I
You
did not leave
are.
all my stuff until right now. I just happen to have a lot of things I'll do the same week, and some of it's finals where we just finished covering all the material. There's only so much I could do ahead of time.
Chrissy, you're a
I've gotten a lot
procrastinator.
better. I've gotten a lot better with procrastinating. I used to be really bad. I've gotten a lot better.
You may be in recovery, but you're still procrastinator. Chrissy, for her wedding, it was like 2 months before, and I was like, all right, who were the bridesmaids? Because I was like lead bridesmaid. And Chrissy's like, oh, I haven't asked them yet. And I was like,
No, no, no. Here's what happened. We were originally
all right, go ahead.
okay. We were originally only gonna have you and Jacob, like our brother and sister, as our bridal
Oh, I
party.
didn't know that.
Yeah, because we're like it's a lot to ask people to be in your wedding, and like we won't be able to like help offset the cost for them, so that'll be a lot. But then we ended up getting more money from some parents, not our parents, from Josh's parents. And then we're like, maybe we can have a bridal party, and like actually maybe that is something we want. So then that's why I asked people after the fact. Also, we were only engaged for like 6 months. So, and I asked them like, I don't know, maybe May or something. It was like 2 months maybe after we got engaged.
All I know is that I
That's
had
the truth.
asked you, okay, that might be the truth of what happened, but what was presented to me is I didn't know that it was, I didn't know all these things. All I knew is I was asking, do you want bridesmaids? And you didn't tell me yes or no. And you're just like, oh, I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
I don't
And
think
then
that's what I said. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember.
why
But
would
I
I keep
feel
asking you who the bridesmaids are
I
multiple weeks in a row?
I don't know. I wouldn't have just said it's only you. I
Chrissy,
don't
I
know.
don't
In
know.
my memory, this was very clear. But it's possible I didn't communicate it.
All
In
I
my mind,
remember, all I remember is that I asked you multiple times because I was like, I'm supposed to be organizing things. And you're like, I haven't asked them yet. I'm like, you need to ask them. And then I asked you again, and you're like, no, I want to write them like a special note and I want to make it really special. And I was like, time for special is over.
you know what?
Like,
That's true. That is true. Once I decided that I wanted bridesmaids, I did want to like make it nice and thoughtful, considering that we had been engaged for 2 months and I felt kind of bad that it was. So that is true. That is true. It did take me a while to actually ask them once we decided we were going to have other people.
yeah, I don't know. I maybe
That's true.
time is a construct and I have no idea. But from what I remember is that it felt like last minute. And I was like, girly girl, you need to ask these people to see if they even have the time to do it.
Yeah.
And that's when I
Okay.
found out Chrissy's a procrastinator. But maybe not. I don't know.
Historically, yes.
Okay, so now we're hitting Bookalicious turbo speed and we're gonna wrap up this book.
Are we?
We have 15 pages.
That's what I've been asking. Really? Only 15 pages?
All right, 35.
That means we've only gone through 10. Because didn't we start with 45 or something?
We're no, we started on
We've
page like
gone through
60.
we've gone through 15 pages according to my book.
Okay, well that's 25 pages in mine.
Okay, okay, okay.
So, all right. But we're gonna go a little bit faster.
Okay.
This is the time is finally nigh. We're literally running up to the budget. Chrissy doesn't have much more time to invest because she has to study for finals. So we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. All right, Chrissy. Summary, chapter 61. Go for it.
Okay, chapter 61. It's called Seo, which means intelligence. And in this chapter, we learned that nothing Hrathen does is for show. I've started imagining Hrathen in this chapter as Zoolander, and just everything he's doing is like a fashion show. So I'd like
Blue
us to read
steel.
it. Yeah, I'd like us to read it with that image in our mind. We learned that Raoden does his Tai Chi to save the world. Raoden doesn't dissolve in the sugar pool, and he ends up saving Elantris, and Hrathen saves Sarene.
Yes. So Delof and Hrathen, they're in Tiod with Sarene. And I guess they're keeping up the pretense that they're going to give Sarene to Eventio, and then they're going to double cross him, is, I guess, their strategy.
Yeah. And then this is when Hrathen's like, this is enough. I can't be a part of this. And so he goes to save Sarene, and then Delof stabs Hrathen, but Hrathen has his armor on. And Hrathen was like, I thought that was Playmobil, dress up. And then Hrathen goes, nothing I do is for show.
Nope, nothing he does is for show.
Yeah, so then he saves Sarene.
Mm-hmm.
Then takes her away.
Yes. Then Raoden's in the pool, nothing important there. What we find out in the pool is that it's like do you want to save your game now? Or do you want to quit? And he's like, I'd like to continue on with the adventure. I'm not ready to quit now. So he selects the continue button. So then he comes back out of the pool. That's what we find out there. Then we find out this really crazy line, because now we're back to the body pyre. And so so the Fjordals finished dousing the lanterns with oil, then prepared their torches. During the entire process, Raoden moved his arms in restraint, circular patterns, blah, 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 blah. This is the part. Lukel began to wonder if Raoden wasn't planning an assault at all, but simply preparing himself for the inevitable. I was like, could you imagine? He's just like one final dance.
He's in his last dance mode.
But while he's charging up, there's a slight glow following Raoden's movement. So we're seeing that whatever this is, the Jindonese do, is also tapping into that Elantrian magic.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I had for that.
I was wondering if he was glowing because he was like tapping into his purpose or something. I was still tying it back to that. And like maybe
I think if you make I think you can make the argument that the magic might have some overlap with your purpose. I think there could be some abstraction there. Okay. But yeah, so Lukel and Raoden, they're getting ready to fight. Now Hrathen and Sarene are running through the city, and this is the first time Serene's really ever talking to this guy. And even though he's been obsessed with her, apparently, and is in love with her. And she's like, you can't fight them all. There's too many. And he's like, I'm so strong. He's like, but you're right. So then she's like, well, luckily this is my town, so I know places. So she's like, look, there's an open door. They go and they hide in there.
Yeah. Okay, this is
what?
Find an open door. That's what counts as knowing the town. The same as if I didn't know the town.
But she knew it was a good door to go into.
But we get an important line here too, where it says, the Dakor were faster, stronger, and tougher, but Hrathen was more determined. For the first time in years, his heart and his mind agreed.
Oh my god.
So it's giving him an extra boost.
Cringe.
Because he loves Sarene.
No, it's not about Sarene. It's about not doing the Dakor thing. He said, that's evil. I can't do that.
I guess.
I didn't read any of this as love triangle in the second half. Like, I thought love triangle was subdued over here. Like, Hrathen was just doing the right thing. That was my read on it.
Okay, that's a good read. Oh. I was gonna say that read makes the book a lot better, but I don't think it's what happened.
Well, okay, I guess I reread up till basically this chapter last night. So we'll see what I think on my second read of the next chapters.
Well, and we'll also see Chrissy's memory, and we'll see if she really did procrastinate on those bridesmaids or not.
I guess that's true. We will. I'll be exposed. All right. We see Raoden. He made it out of the water. He like jumped out like Shamu, and Kaladin's like, "Whoa!" And then Raoden says, "Come," he finally rasped, stumbling to his feet, which is what made me think that Kin was an Elantrian or something, because his voice was raspy. But I guess it's just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. Now, Raoden is still Hoed, even though he's brought his mind out of the coma and he's still like dizzy. So he's like drunken, stumbling out of the pool. And then Karada and Galadin are like watching him go. And they're like, where is he going to go? And then he goes to the top of the mountain where you're like, that seems like the lemurs that
Gonna swan dive off.
Yeah. Now we're back to Lugal and Shuden, and now they're attacking. And then when aid finally did come, it was by no one else other than the fencing women.
That was wild.
Yeah. So now the women come in their dresses and their bonnets with their little swords, and they come running after after everyone. But then as soon as people fight back, they give up.
Yeah.
And then Eshin dies. The old queen.
Back to Shaq and the preschoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're gonna fight these demons. We've never fought anyone before, but we're gonna fight these demons.
Right. So as soon as one person gets attacked, then they say, we're kidding. We're going back to the pyre. So then they throw themselves back onto the body thing.
You know what? You guys had a point. I'm gonna go back here.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? You're right. Burn me alive. Anything there?
No, I just thought it was funny. I'm imagining all the women like in unison with their little
just practicing their formations, but not actually attacking anyone. And then one of them gets stabbed, and they're like, "Oh my god, we didn't practice that!" And they like throw their little swords away, and they're like, "Never mind." So now it's back to
they're just hoping that the person lines up with the formation.
Yeah. So then they say, "Never mind," and then Lugal and Shuden are like, "Okay, we're gonna take on this whole army by ourselves." But Lugal gets hit. Okay, whatever. Now we're back to Raoden, and now he's drunken, stumbling down the mountain, and Galadin and them are trying to keep up.
Yeah, one slip and he's done for.
That's it. Now we're back to Sarene, and her and Hrathen are hiding in the little room that she found.
Oh, they're hiding in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but this is where the family is, right?
like feeling like,
Well, he does undress in this section.
He's like, you know what, Sarene? I agree. I'm a virgin, and
she's like, I am too. Engaged 7 times. I had my one chance with my zombie prince, and I sent him away.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, this was the Zoolander moment though, because they're like climbing out of this house, and then Hrathen begins pulling off his armor with no explanation, which is strange on my second reading, but it's because it was too distinctive for it to be worth it. Even though it's giving him protection, it's going to give them away. But this was a Zoolander part where Sarene goes, "You've been walking around with this real armor all these months? Wasn't that difficult?" And I just Hrathen like pulling off his feather boa, and he's like, "The burden of my calling."
He stood bare-chested, wearing only a pair of thin, knee-length trousers and a long sleeve-like band of cloth around his right arm. Why the covered arm? Sarene wondered. Some piece of Derethi priest garb? Other questions were more pressing, however. We almost went into like a romantic novel where the priest and the girly girl get together, but Sanderson takes a left turn and we go.
I'm gonna be honest here. Like, I feel like Sarene has the hots for whoever she's around. She's like, "Oh, you're looking at me. I love you."
She's pick me girl energy, and she wants anyone to pick her. Okay, so then Serene's like, "Why did you turn on your people?" And this is the line Chrissy talked about earlier. "My faith is in Jadith, a god who wants the devotion of men. A massacre does not serve him." So we had kind of already talked about that type of thing earlier, unless you have more that you want to chat about, Chris.
Oh, okay. So I read this part and I could not help but read it in light of him being a Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
Like I could not read it outside of that light.
Yeah, where he agrees with the faith, but what the institution of the church does, he does not agree entirely with.
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
And so like there's in Mormonism, right? You have the LDS Church, which is like mainline Mormonism, but then you have all the fundamental sects, right? Like so FLDS is like one of the more well-known ones, and they especially in fundamental Mormonism, the big thing is the big LDS people, they've gone off the deep end. They are doing all the wrong things. So it just kind of felt very similar to that in my mind, right? That you're looking at these people and saying, "Oh, they're wrong because they're not following Joseph Smith the way they should be following him." Anyways, and I felt that way with him. He's like, "Oh, the LDS Church has gone wrong. I'm going to a more true and fundamental form of the faith, right? Back to the original teachings."
Oh, I was taking it the opposite way. That, oh, the LDS Church does it right, but we have these like little cults on the side that like to have sister wives.
Yes, well, the LDS Church would say that they do it right, but all the fundamentalists say no, they don't.
Right. So I guess I was thinking that Sanderson would fall more in the church, not the fundamentalist group.
I'm not saying that Sanderson's a fundamentalist. That was how I took it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
See that?
I think anytime you have religion, there's innate power that you have over people who follow it.
Yeah.
And I think power is too tempting for most people, and they'll take advantage of it in some way. That's a good thought, though. Anything there, Chris?
I don't think so. Well, it's kind of interesting because we had that big showdown with Hrathen and Omen on the Elantris wall where he's like, "What happened to your faith, Hrathen?" And now we're kind of seeing him come back to his faith, but in like what he's seeing as like the good and true way, where he's like recognizing that Delof's actions are evil. And Sarene goes, "But your faith," and he goes, "My faith is in Jadith," and he doesn't want a massacre. So
yeah,
kind of see full circle.
I guess he's realizing his faith is in the God and not in the church.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, I don't know how you can divorce the two. That seems like a really slippery line to delineate.
Yeah.
Like if you say the church is doing it wrong, then it's like, okay, well then who's doing it right? And then you're like, well, I know what's right. And then it's like, do you know what's right? What makes what you say right over what the church is saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that's kind of how a lot of different sects have started.
Exactly.
Right? Like they're doing it wrong. So Hrathen's going to start his own thing now.
Yeah. He's going to start another spin-off religion.
Yeah.
Well, he would.
He would.
If he made it out. Spoiler alert. Okay. So now we flip back to Raoden, and his feet have turned into just lumps of flesh that he's running on, which I have stubbed my toe, and I couldn't even imagine if the whole thing was lacerated. So that was disgusting. Now we go back to Lucal, and they're in the body pit, and he got stabbed in the leg. I don't even think he did anything. I think he had that IKEA chair leg, gave one whack, got stabbed, fell back in the pit. Like this is the saddest uprising that I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then they actually they put gas on the oil on the tire, and then they burst it into flames.
Yep. So now we flip back, and now it's Karada and Galadin, and they're watching Raoden run up this mountain with his little meat feet. His little sausage feet just bleeding everywhere, running up the mountain. They're like, what is he doing? And they're not helping him. They're just watching him.
Yeah.
And then they're like, then they see some guards have caught on to them. They probably heard all of the screaming and they're chasing them. So now Galadin and Karada are chasing after Raoden up this mountain, being like, let's hope he has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I thought this scene was hilarious in my mind because you have like little Raoden, like just a few, little pieces of flesh sewn together, and he's like running down this mountain, and then the soldiers come, and then Galadin and Crot are like, "We gotta save Raoden," so they like jump in front of them, and then of course they immediately die. But then the whole climax of this is Raoden's carrying a stick, and I'm just imagining this like if you're to take the music off of a mute movie and just watch it silent, and you just see this little man stumbling with a stick, and then he finally gets there and like draws in the sand, and you're like, what is going on?
Yes. So he runs up to this little place, and then he draws a line, and then Karada, like Chrissy said, jumps in the way. She gets beheaded. Galadin gets stabbed, and then as soon as Raoden strikes this line, then light explodes from the ground.
Yeah. So they don't really say how Raoden knew exactly where to go, other than there was
this is the crazy this is as crazy as like the step dude, right? Like knowing how many steps. How so I think when does he figure this out?
So he in the because I agree. I was like, when I first read this, I was like, what is happening? But they said when he was in his stupor.
Yeah.
And he saw the lines, and he got like a vision basically of what to do. Where did that vision come from? Yeah. Where did the vision come from? Don't know. We'll say magic.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was that like third god who's in all the worlds or whatever that you were talking about. Just slipped him a little note.
Hoyd.
Yeah. Whoever.
Yeah.
Poloi.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm in here. Yeah. So how did Raoden figure this out? Who knows? Very convenient plot point. But it turns out there's this Aeon that powers up the whole thing. And it's this little, you just have to draw a little Aeon on this one spot where all the magic is, and then it can open it up. And then it turns out Elantris is a massive Aeon. And that's why the city's so powerful, because they drew the town.
Did you read or watch Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes.
I saw
some of it. This is essentially very similar. You draw shapes in the ground in order to like do special magical things. And in the spoiler for anybody who hasn't finished the TV show that's been done for a decade, if the ultimate goal was to turn the entire country into a giant transmutation circle.
You're right.
Yeah. And so very, very similar kind of elements here, right? Using different locations to create your magic thing.
Yeah. That might be why it felt like it made so much sense to me. I wouldn't be surprised if Sanderson has seen Full Metal Alchemist and lifted some of that.
And you know what? Good writing.
I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well, the other key thing is that the Aeon that the shape of Elantris is in is none other than Aeon Reo, which means spirit. So we all saw it coming.
Yep. So now Raoden is like Beauty and the Beast when the spell is broken, and he starts hovering in the air, and his transformation, he's glowing, and he goes from like his disgusting sausage feet to normal toes again.
Okay, I have a question here. This is something I didn't quite understand.
Yeah.
Was there like a section of wall that had gotten destroyed in the chasm, and he had to recomplete the line? Is that what we're looking at here, or is it that it's not that, but rather, how can I say this? He has to make a new line because of the chasm?
Yes. So what it is that so if you can imagine, just imagine that the magic is underneath the ground. And the only way you can get it out from there is that you have to draw this shape of the land. And that's like the key. When the chasm opened up, it changed the shape of the land. So all of their magics broke. It broke the code, basically, the computer code.
Right.
And so what Raoden had to do is he had to go up there, fix the bug. Basically, he had to redraw it now with the line in it. And then it was fixed. And he had to do it in this special spot because this is where all the power like concentrates.
So there was like a section of wall that went missing, and he had to. So drawing a line in the sand counts as a wall.
So you can draw the A on. You had to draw it on the specific geographical spot. This is where all the power had pooled up. So if you draw it in the sand, it's the same thing. And they talk about that before, where it's like you can draw it in the sand, and even if someone wipes it away, as long as they're not another Elantrian, the magic still holds.
So it's not just that he's drawing it with a stick, but he's using his stick as a special tool, like if he were drawing in the air, but he's drawing on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So.
Kind of.
So that's it. He just had to go on that special sand spot, and he just had to tap it open, and then the power starts flying out.
Zoom.
Yep. And so now Raoden's glowing, and then he looks at the soldiers, and he's super powerful now, and he's like, get out of here. And then he's like, you have 1 hour to get out of here.
Yeah. I really thought that corn was going to be central to the plot. They're going to have to eat food from the ground to get the power. I was kind of disappointed it never came up.
What did you think about this as a solution?
I thought it was good. I think it's a little, I guess it has to be directly on the ground because that's where the power's coming from. Because it seems like it'd be more secure if it was on like a wall or something. I don't know. So no one could just like wipe it away. But well, you have to be a Elantrian to wipe it away, right?
Exactly. And Raoden mentioned that, like, even if you put it in the sand and someone brushed it off, I think that's why Sanderson mentioned that specific line.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But I mean, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. So now, okay. Now there's hope.
Is there?
Always there is. With Raoden.
Do you want to summarize that next part, Chrissy?
Sure. So Raoden became his true Elantrian self, and he starts glowing. But what we also find out is that all the Elantrians who had been like dismembered, they come back together too, and they start glowing. And so now this whole pyre of like flaming bodies, they're actually alive again. And that was probably terrifying for the people there. So that happens, and then they see Raoden come out like on the mountain, and he's like, I am here. And then he basically tells all of the Durethi warriors too. He's like, you guys got to get out of here also. I'm back.
It was very like Moses coming down Mount Sinai?
Yeah, with the tablets.
With the tablets, whatever mountain he was on. He was coming down the mountain with the tablets, glowing, having just seen God.
You know, yeah, some similarities there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there's a line here that I liked where all the soldiers are running and they're escaping into the city and their leader slunk behind them. And it says, before Raoden's glory, the monk's horrible body seemed more pitiful than terrifying. Which, like, if you kind of have these two powers of like good and evil, it's like evil's really powerful. But if you're reading this with like a rosy perspective, it's like in the face of good, evil pales. Comparison could be one read.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like Sanderson is all of us, as he's writing Lucal, who's like was passing out, and he didn't get healed from the Elantrian magic, so he's still like, you know, on death's door. And Lucal says, "How totally unexpected," he declared, then proceeded to fate from blood loss.
I thought that line was so funny.
I know. All right, now we flip back to Delof, and his nose is broken, and his power doesn't let him heal, so I guess he's just stuck with that.
Yeah. And he hears his wife still screaming in his mind, like, Revenge.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and I thought that was interesting. And my question is, are Delof and Raoden foils of each other? Because Raoden was healed by Elantris, and then Delof's wife was killed by Elantris, and then Delof is full of hate, but Raoden is full of love. Are they
Mhm.
kind of opposites?
I think so.
Like Sarene and Hrathen?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I don't think, to Sam's point, that the execution goes off correctly because Delof really just kind of does an about face. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it seemed like he was going in one direction, and then somewhere along this book, he, like we said, he turned into a one-dimensional character, and I don't know that a one-dimensional character could be a true foil for Raoden.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Although how many dimensions does Raoden have? He's pretty kind of straight line. I feel
Yeah.
like. I guess he grows a little bit.
He grows a little bit, and he has like thoughts, and he struggles with
Yeah.
things. Delof is just like one track mind.
That's true.
Okay. Chapter 62.
Chapter 62. Okay. So chapter 62, it's called Rayo, which of course means punishment, like Drayok crush throat. Yeah. And so here we see Hrathen and Sarene still trying to escape in Teod. Hrathen ends up sacrificing himself to save Sarene. And then Raoden finds a way to get to Teod to save Sarene after he's demolished all of the monks in Elantris.
Mm-hmm. Raoden realizes he has the power of the eagles, and he can call them at any time. So this is the point where Hrathen and Sarene, the love triangle, in the last pages, Sanderson is scrambling. So Sarene and Hrathen, they're in Teod, and Hrathen's like, we got to get out of here. Like, if you want to live, Sarene, you got to run away with me. And she's like, I'm not leaving. And then this is the point. Sarene ground her teeth. The journ's words had apparent sense in them, but it was possible he was concocting things to get her to accompany him. Of course, there was no reason for him to do such a thing. What cared he for Sarene? She had been his fervent enemy. So he undressed, he showed her his hot bod, and now he's like, let's run away together. And Serene's like, I feel like you're just trying to get me to get into the unmarked van.
Oh, no. I'll be honest, I'll admit, I did not reread this chapter last night. I completely forgot all these specific details that happened. There are some explicit love triangle things going on here.
Yes.
Come here, baby.
Oh, no.
I need some of that sweet loving.
I know. It's terrible. Then we see, okay, this is the next point supporting it. Horrified at his show of weakness before the girl, Hrathen then quickly steeled his heart against further questions. Yes, he had betrayed Shu Darath. Yes, he was a traitor. But yeah, so he was just like, oh my God. He's like, I let Sarene know I loved her by telling her to run away with me. And she was like, what are you talking about? And he's embarrassed.
I've done it. It was bad. I didn't mean to.
That's... Those are the shower thoughts that would have haunted Hrathen for the rest of his life. Every time he had like, oh my God, remember that time I told Sarene to run away with me? And she said, why would I do that?
Wait, you're not feeling this right now? I mean, that's what's going on. He's like, man, we really got something. This is how little Hrathen knows women.
Right? I know.
But he's like, you're feeling this, right? Like,
yeah. He's like, we're on the same page. They're not on the same page. A line that I put that I think talks a little bit about the serial killers that we talked about earlier is, ironically, by opening himself to truth, Hrathen had also exposed himself to the guilt of his past atrocities. So by saying that the church is doing bad things, then he has to accept the fact that he did bad things too.
Yeah. But I like this shift because now he's like, now I'm going to say that, what does it say? One thing kept him from despair. He could say that he now followed the truth in his heart. And he could die and face Jadith with courage and pride.
Aww.
Yeah.
Nice. Which I think is kind of why I didn't remember the love triangle thing, because his like motivation is to do good now. It's kind of
For
like it
Sarene.
wasn't for Sarene. No, it was for Jadith.
Yeah. So now we get a callback to the priest that Hrathen sent off on the first day.
Yeah.
He comes back and all he does is tattle on Hrathen. And Hrathen's like, I should have killed you when I was still evil.
Oh my gosh.
All right. And then this is the final line of the love triangle. Hrathen discarded all question. Instead, his view and consciousness was filled with Sarene's worried face, the woman who had destroyed him. Because of her, he had finally rejected the lies he had believed all of his life. She would never know that he had come to love her. Goodbye, my princess, he thought. Jadith, be merciful to my soul. I only did the best I could.
Cute or cringe?
Cringe. This is weird.
He's created this like really deep relationship and she doesn't know him at all.
No.
Right? This is he has a shrine of her currently. Like
yes.
In like in his bedroom, in his like little lockbox that nobody can see. And then like he dies, people like empty out his stuff, she finds out and she's like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Hrathen got stabbed when that priest was tattling on him, I guess. He ran up and stabbed him. And then Sarene's watching Hrathen die. And so after he's saying, just to support Sam's claim about the shrine, he has this whole elaborate thing from his perspective. We get to Sarene's perspective. She's like, Hrathen, don't you dare leave me alone. He didn't respond. She had fought with him over the fate of 2 countries, but had never really known who he was. She never would.
Okay, my question with Hrathen is how many women has he even seen in his life? Because we don't see any women monks, we don't see any women Dakor people. I don't know how Delof met his wife, but like this might be the only woman he's ever met. You know?
No. He's walked around the town. He's seen women before.
Okay, I guess that's true, but like no one who's been his like intellectual equal.
That, again, is not saying much for this book.
No.
I agree.
That is not saying much.
Man.
Yeah,
yeah.
go for it.
I was going to pull out another line from this little paragraph.
Yeah,
so it's Sarene's perspective as Hrathen is there dying. And then it says, people gathered around her, upset by the sight of a dying man in the street. It's like, what an understatement.
I know these demons are running amok in the town and they're just like, what's happening? This is so crazy. I'm like, oh my God, someone's dead. They're like, but we see that one of like the bare-chested forms who are showing up in the alley had blood on his face, the sign of a broken nose. So that's Delof. That's Nathan Shelley coming in to get Sarene.
Yeah.
Then we find out that the priest Hrathen sent off, once he got there, the journ was like, you know what? I have a great plan for you. He's like, this is all going to happen exactly how I'm imagining it. And then you're going to have to go to this town and you're going to have to kill Hrathen because he's going to turn on us. But we can't kill him beforehand because we still need him to be a distraction for some reason. And so we find out that the priest was given that assignment to kill Hrathen.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like Vijan or whoever the priest is kind of like that's how Hrathen started too? Because he's like trying to do this good thing and he's like, oh wow, I did it to serve Jadith's empire. And he kind of seems to have the same motivation as Hrathen does and the same outlook.
No, he doesn't have the same outlook as Hrathen.
No.
You don't think so?
He wants revenge. He is motivated by revenge.
Vijan?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The priest who Hrathen sent away. That's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's kind of revenge. I don't know. It doesn't, I don't get a super angry vibe from him. Like he was just ordered to do this thing and he's like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And he says, Fionn had performed his duty, his period of penance was over. And then with a merry step, he got breakfast. And so I kind of thought that
merry step. you stab someone, you're like, my day, I'm having a good day right now.
Got everything done on my to-do list.
This was basically the gang initiation. Go kill this person, then you'll be part of the gang. And he's just like, all right, don't care that I knew the guy. He's dead.
I don't know. I guess I was reading it more of like Hrathen did evil things because it was his duty. And I kind of just got the feeling that Fionn felt like this was the right thing to do. Like Hrathen thought it was the right thing to do. I mean, I guess they all do, but Delof definitely has some more like vengeance overtones in there.
Yeah, I think Fionn's just really just a minion because he says, how had Wern known that Fionn would find Hrathen here on the streets of Teod of all places? Convenient.
Right.
Fionn would probably never know. Lord Jadeth moved in ways beyond the understandings of men. But Fionn had performed his duty. His period of penance was over. So I think he's just not thinking about it. And I also think that if you're in a religion where they sacrifice people to go get their Starbucks coffee in the morning, that killing someone else just might not be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so now we're back to Raoden and all the Elantrians they're like, oh my gosh, I'm healed. But Lukel's like, leave me, I'm dying. Tend to the others. And the Raoden's like, stop whining. And then he does a magic spell and then Lukel is cured. And then he's like, oh my God, I'm alive. He's like, okay, I can help you now.
Yeah. Lukel's upset he doesn't have a scar to show off to people, but that's okay. But then Ash comes and is like, help, help. And what did you say? Help, listen.
Hey, listen.
And she's like, hey, Sarene is in Teod and they're taking over. And then Raoden's like, oh my gosh, gotta save him. Then we see Sarene is back. We flash back to Sarene. Delof's like coming up, about to kill her. Then we flash back to Raoden. Then Raoden's like, I gotta save Sarene. And this is where the whole eagle thing comes in, where Raoden's like, all right, I have my transport Aeon, but I don't know the distance from here to Teod. I never took geography. And who comes?
But Aiden,
who knows exactly how many steps there are from here to Teod.
I'm imagining Aiden went from Squidward to like handsome Squidward, and he's walking in with like a buff Elantrian body. And they're like, how many steps is it possibly to Teod? And then all of a sudden he like saunters in 1,326,805. Aiden said, that will take you to the docks. He said, I'm not sure how I know that. Convenient. I went there as a child once, but it'll have to be enough. Raoden thought. Sanderson just like, whoop, 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 whoop. Let's not, don't look over here. Let's keep going.
Oh my gosh.
So now Raoden teleports exactly to where he needs to be. Convenient. Yep. So now we're back to Sarene.
Delof's about to kill her, but then who comes in but Raoden?
Woohoo! And then now Delof's pissed off because he already hated the Elantrians, but now they have power again. And then we find out that Raoden had forgotten that his power gets weaker when he's far away from Elantris. And he's like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. And he didn't bring anyone else with him. So, now he's here super handsome for his lady, but looks like he's going to get caught.
Like, hey, and then she goes, you can't get us home. And he goes, not by Aeon, I can't. Like, oh my gosh.
Okay, so now Raoden and Sarene, they're fleeing the area, trying to get away from Delof. And then we see King Aventio. And then I guess they were trying to rescue him or something.
Right, but then Delof comes in and is like, whoa, I'm here.
Yeah, so they come to rescue them, and then Sarene says, not much of a rescue, Sarene muttered, stepping forward to stand next to Raoden, staring down the group of monstrosities with a contemptuous air. Her defiant irony brought a smile to Raoden's lips. Next time, I'll remember to bring an army with me. I'm like, my God, you should have thought of that to begin with. Anyway, it's fine.
I guess, though, if his transportation didn't work, he didn't want to sacrifice 100 people with him.
I guess that's true. And since you couldn't come back, there's no way to verify.
Yeah. They'll never know.
But that doesn't stop Galladon and him bringing all the Elantrians.
Yeah. They just assume they're like, probably fine. Well, I guess they had a Seon, maybe? I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's my question. Okay? Here's my question. Does every Elantrian have the same level of power?
No.
Or do some have more power than others?
Some have more than others.
So, like, if we take that Raoden is, like, some kind of, like, boy genius.
Savant.
Right?
Yeah.
How is it that everybody else is also that good? Secondly, they do one of the farthest... I bet nobody has ever traveled that far, ever.
I know.
Right? Like, ever. And they're just like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Well, no one's used any of the power for 10 years, so it's just overflowing right now. They're all Super Saiyan.
I know.
Gosh.
And here's the second thing. Okay, so they put in, like, the number of steps they write it on the Aode or whatever.
Yeah.
Aeon.
Yeah.
Is it like Google where you, like, put in, like, I have 5 cups, but I want to know how many that is in liters? And, like, the Aeon just does the like the conversion,
the calculation. So what you have to do is you have to I guess in like the formula set what a unit is of
right
step.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Aiden would say it's 3 million of my steps are 16 feet, so in your like little
what
press in 16 feet, my step is 16 inches is what I meant to say. My step's 16 inches, so it's going to be for a unit of a 16-inch step, 3 million of them. And then they put that into their... That's what I'm imagining it to be.
Okay.
I'm thinking you...
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say, I'm thinking you just include the unit in there. You're like, move me 3 million Aiden steps.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh, that's what you're saying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it is all very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
You have no idea if it's going to work out.
Yeah. And Delof has just been learning all of this by watching Raoden. But he learned it well enough to transport all the way here with an army.
Yep. So he did the complicated, dangerous Aeon Tia, and then he also taught all of his Elantrians, I'm assuming like the first letter of the Aeon alphabet. Because all they're doing is like a simple line, and all it does is like cast a fireball, which is probably independently very weak. But since he brought everybody, they're all doing it at the same time. And he's like, on 3. And then they go, Aeon Da! And then they draw it, and then the little fireballs like come out. So now the cavalry has arrived.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now isn't too complicated. Oh. No, it's okay. I was just looking at the shape.
What is it? Okay, so it's a circle with like a square and an X in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Now we flip back to Delof, and he's just like, fools. And then we find out that it took the power of 50 deaths to create his power that made him resistant to any attacks by the door.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why... Oh, go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, and he has the power to undo Andor power.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So even though the monks are way better trained, there's just so many Elantrians that it is kind of overwhelming, and Delof's men are falling, but he's like, no, I'm going to keep going.
I think all the Elantrians came, and then all of Delof's army were like, Elantrians. So they focused on them, but then Delof was still going after Sarene. And
oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, so King Eventio, he ran down a side alley. And then Delof was chasing the king, and then he knew that Sarene and Raoden would chase him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, they fall directly into the trap. But I guess they're trying to save Eventio, so what are you going to do?
I think Raoden's feeling really buff right now. He's feeling unstoppable.
Okay, so then Delof comes and he's like about to attack Sarene and Raoden, and they try to sword fight him off, but they just can't. And then who comes out of the shadows but Hrathen?
Bum, bum, bum.
And Hrathen has his little like Buzz Lightyear forearm thing.
Yes.
And Delof tries to hit it with the sword, but it like bounces off because it turns out that was his one bone that was changed when he was in Dakor. So he has superpowers.
Mm-hmm. In that one arm.
The one arm.
Yep. So then he's able to kill Delof. And then now Raoden's
after.
Yeah, he dies. We thought he was
dies.
dead before, but now he's dead for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So Raoden's like, I can't believe you guys followed me. That's so crazy. And then Galadin snorted, we had Ash call ahead to make sure you arrived safely. We're not Kayana or like crazy people, unlike our king. So, okay. Good job. Good job, Sanderson.
Yeah,
'Cause I was
Galadin's the only one
wondering
with brains.
I agree.
Yeah, the other crazy thing is that so they have all these injuries, of course, because they just did war. And then Raoden's like, all right, guys, I'm going to show you the healing Aeon, the most complicated one of all. If you mess up one little spot, they're going to die. And then they just all start doing it. And Galadin saves Raoden's hand. And I just felt like he's like doing surgery after watching a YouTube video. I was like, my gosh. But it worked.
You know what? Anything goes right now. Anything can happen.
Anything goes.
Now we're at the final chapter of the book, and how else could we end this other than with Sarene's wedding?
Of course.
Ugh.
But
No.
Yeah.
We have not talked about the final battle. Okay, enough.
Oh, okay. Let's go back.
Right between Delof and Raoden, this was so Dragon Ball Z, right? Like first you have a character who levels up super much.
Yeah.
Then you have another character who levels up super much. But then to make it challenging, you got to level him down.
Yeah.
So then they level him down, and then I don't know. The whole thing was just like stupid to me.
It was definitely like Attack of the Titans, just level up, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And this is really, I think we had talked about on our last episode with Sam, we're really in, the roller coaster is off the rails. We are in a spaceship.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. Up is down, down is up. People learn surgery from a YouTube video. People are powering up, powering down. Someone who was dead somehow came back to life to kill someone who's way too strong for Raoden to take care of, but with his last ounce of energy, he's able to kill him somehow.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense, but that's okay. I guess.
Yeah. It's changed. What do you guys think about Eventio and all this? Because he seems to just always be running away into the alleyway.
I think there's something more with him and Kin, and I don't think it's as copacetic. Is that the word?
Sure, yeah.
As they both make it out to be. I think that I don't think they're both as innocent as they pretend.
Wow, I didn't know the word copacetic. That's a good one.
What is it?
What do you think it means? What's your guess?
I think it means like...
She's so glad to learn a word she doesn't even know what it means.
Well, no, I know what it means. I looked it up.
Okay.
I looked it up. I didn't know what it meant before.
Oh, okay.
I thought like
Okay.
copacetic meant like you're good, I'm good. We're copacetic.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right. It says in excellent order.
Yeah.
Thing is copacetic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
foppish. Sam, did you know the word foppish?
Yeah.
What?
From
How do you
before?
know?
Yeah. Why would I know what the word foppish is?
We didn't know what it was, and we Googled it. We thought we knew what it was. What do you think it means? We'll quiz you right now.
A dandy.
Where did you learn the word foppish? Did you learn it from our podcast or did you know it before?
Well, I mean, I learned it from your podcast, yeah.
Oh, we're talking about before.
But I would have been able to guess that because you would talk about a foppish haircut or something like that.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had, before hearing it in the podcast, I had read it in the book. And
yeah.
I wouldn't have said dandy, right? But in the context of the word, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, that's politician speak for, yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. And you're like, what? No. You said you knew what it meant. Then you said you knew what it meant after we explained it on the podcast. Then you said that you would have been able to figure it out, but you wouldn't have used the right term. You would have used a different term, but it was correct.
It was correct.
Okay. Let's see. Any more on the final battle? Because we have to get to Sarene's wedding.
Okay, let's get to Sarene's wedding. We got to
number
wrap this up.
7.
Number 7. Okay. So there's 63. It's called Teo, which means majesty. And of course, we see Raoden and Sarene get married. And there's a big line at the end. That could either... It's going to be in the cringe or cute game. And we'll see what we all think.
All right. Well, Sarene, this is finally... I'm like, this is how you have to do it to get married, lady. Sarene grabbed Raoden's arm in a firm grip. Walk, she ordered, nodding toward the doorway. This time, she wasn't letting go until someone married them. I was like, really? If you're getting married, it's you handcuffing Raoden to yourself and walking him down the aisle with you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, crazy.
So we get a line about the Scions. We had wondered how they were created. Raoden planned to interrogate the other Elantrians in hopes of discovering more about Scions. It disturbed him that throughout his studies, readings, and learnings, he had never discovered exactly how Scions were created, if indeed they were even creations of Eandor. So, just giving little hints of what the next book will probably cover.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we're learning more about Eandor, where the Dorethi monks, like in their bones, they had their own version of Eandor. And it says Raoden was beginning to suspect there was more than one way to access the door because the Dorethi had some version of it. And then also Shuden, when he was doing his little ballet dance, he was glowing. So he also somehow found a way to access it.
Yes.
So interesting.
So now they had their big wedding. It sounds like it was a Catholic mass because they said it was long, lengthy, and often dry.
So you thought of my wedding?
So now it's the end. And
didn't say no. It's okay.
And Raoden says, was it everything you hoped for? You said that you had been anticipating this moment for your entire life.
Oh my gosh.
And this is probably where you want to do the cringe or cute.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Sarene says, it was wonderful. However, there's one thing I've been looking forward to even more than my wedding. Raoden raised an eyebrow. She smiled mischievously. The wedding night. Oh. Terrible. I'm glad there was an epilogue to wash my palette of the last line.
You're like, God. You're like Sarene.
The good Mormon girls and boys are looking forward to.
Oh my God. I know. This emphasis on sexual intimacy, like it is the end all be all. This is why we exist for everything. It's just like, wow. Okay. That was horrible. That's probably why Sarene has been single for so long. She does things like this.
Oh, man. All right. Ready for the epilogue?
That's it. Take us away.
Hey, so this chapter is called on, which means truth. And here we kind of go into the future a little bit and we see, oh, it's only a week actually, but so much had happened as per usual. Raoden and Sarene are married and they're ruling with such love and goodness. And then we have a memorial service for Hrathen. That's the big moment at the end.
Yes.
Okay, so we see. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So we see that now that Raoden's in power, Raoden had been making his own society in Elantris, and Sarene had been trying to revamp Erelon society with the boys' club. And we see what they actually do is they make each lord a servant of Elantris, charging them with the responsibility of caring for the people in the remote parts of the country. The nobility became less aristocrats and more food distributors, which in a way is what they should have been doing in the first place. Interesting. I got a little bit of a I feel like that's in character with Raoden and Sarene. I do feel like that's a little bit of Bonnie Garmus style where Brandon Sanderson is like popping out.
Here's
like,
my
here's
opinion.
what I think. Yeah.
Yes, this is my comment on how the world should be. I agree. It was a little like, okay, weird.
Yeah. Okay, cringe or cute. Raoden is glowing. He is a powerful source of pride and hope. And Sarene says, no matter how metallically bright his skin became, it could never match the radiance of his soul.
So I thought that was okay. I thought that was cute. And the reason why is because in the book that caused this chasm to occur, the holy people in that land are called Radiants.
Oh.
And I feel like it is like a wink and a nod to that. But if that's not what it was, and it was just the radiance of his soul, like truly cringe.
Well, this book was written before that book. So do you think Sanderson, when he wrote this line, had that in mind?
He writes he like writes multiple books at the same time, I guess. So he writes every single day, but he doesn't always want to work on the same one.
Okay.
So I think that's how he keeps himself out of writer's block, maybe. So
I thought it was kind of cute. I didn't think it was total cringe.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's see.
We get a little bit more. Oh yeah, you can go.
Okay, this is something that I thought was a plot hole, is because when Aiden threw himself on the body pyre, Luca was like, oh my gosh, how crazy. But then we see just behind Raoden and Luca, Sarene could make out the silver skin form of Aiden, Daora's second son. According to Luca, the Shaod had taken Aiden 5 years before, but the family had determined to cover up his transformation with makeup rather than throw him into Elantris.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, did he not know? Maybe this is to Sam's point. Aiden was added in after the fact, and Sanderson forgot to tie up that sentence.
That's hilarious. he forgot to tie up the sentence.
Yeah. He forgot to edit that one. So I don't know. That just didn't make sense to me.
You know what, actually? Okay. No, I flipped back to that part where Aiden throws himself onto the pile of Elantrians. And actually, I think it does fit because it says Luke will reach for his brother, but it was too late. And then it shows Aiden walking over, and it's the soldier's eyes opened wide and jumped back and was surprised. So Luke, I don't think, is surprised. It's the other people who are like, what's this kid doing?
Let me see. Because I remember reading that and being like, he doesn't know that he is Elantrian.
I thought that
like if you read the full context of it, but you're saying maybe it could look okay.
I think so, because Luke's trying to stop his brother from joining them. So I think he kind of has an idea of like, he belongs.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we missaid that the first time. Because I also thought that though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Either way.
Now we're going to wrap up the story with Terena and Shuden. And whose grave are they at?
Ahan, we see, has lost an alarming amount of weight. Just wanted to throw that in there.
But he's still overweight. The door opened, Trina climbed out, leading her overweight father, Count Ahan. Ahan hadn't been the same since Royal's death. He spoke in dazed, sickly voice, and he had lost an alarming amount of weight.
Gosh. Okay, but they're walking towards, there's 4 graves, and there's Aiden's grave, and then 4 just like it. The resting places of Royal, Eandel, Karada, and a man named Saolin. And the last one didn't have a body, but Raoden insisted it be there. Okay, my question though is I thought all the Elantrians, like, they came back together when the power came. So I thought Karada would be alive.
I think if you I guess if you cut off their head, that was too much, maybe.
That makes sense. Usually that's pretty final.
Or
like maybe the other people, they were starting to melt. It was like happening simultaneously. And I think like with the other people, like their heads were maybe like nearly headless, Nick, where it's like it's attached a little bit. So then it could just like stick back together. But Karada's was completely decapitated. So maybe that was like done. Because they said in the previous chapter, we didn't highlight it, but Elantrians heal quickly, but they're not immortal. So you can still even kill an Elantrian if you damage them enough, I guess.
This is reminiscent of what happens to Vision in what's that show? Endgame, where they're able to bring everybody back, but they can't bring back Vision and they can't bring back Black Widow, right? Because
yeah,
they died previously.
Yeah, you're talking about the Marvel movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know, but Karada, she's dead. I'm surprised Aiden, well, I guess they explained this because I was surprised that Aiden was there, but they say every lesson has 2 sides. It was important for them to remember Aiden's sickening greed as it was to remember Royal's sacrifice. I guess we won't remember Royal being a creep. That's not on the grade.
That wasn't a lesson we wanted to take away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then there's one last grave.
Yep. You want to wrap it up? Take us home.
Sure. So there's one last grave piled high like the others, and it's for Hrathen. And Sarene's going to be the, what's that called? Like the funeral person. She's given the speech.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives this long speech about Hrathen. Let's see, were there any parts you guys picked out from there?
I just had her little monologue and then the last line.
Yeah. So she says, like, I didn't really know Hrathen. She has this funny line where she said, I always assumed that I could come to understand a man through being his enemy, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, she of course did not know him. She didn't see his internal conflict. But the big message she wants people to take away is that when you remember this man, think not of an enemy. Think of a man who longed to protect Erlon and its people. Think of the man he became, the hero who saved your king. My husband and I would have been killed by the monster Dakhor had Hrathen not arrived to protect us. At the end, she says, when you speak of this man, let it be known that he died in our defense. Let it be said that, after all else, Hrathen, Gjorn of Shudareth, was not our enemy. He was our savior.
I thought, even though the last little bit of this was we were in a spaceship off the rails, I thought that was a perfect last line.
Oh, really?
Because Hrathen came in saying, I'm going to be the savior of these people.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that just felt like a really great way to wrap up Hrathen's arc.
I think it is for him. I find it hard to believe that they're going to take an effigy or whatever, a monument to this guy of a people group that killed a bunch of people.
Well, I think the last thing too is, we haven't talked about this in a minute, is that all those religions are about unity.
Yeah.
And so I think by honoring the bad and the good, that's the only way you can really like unify everyone.
I hear what you're saying, but if I was going to like make a point of somebody, like, why don't you call it Karada?
Yeah, I know. Well,
but she wasn't a main
she's
character.
A woman.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
There are no men there. Or there are no women. Monuments, only men.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I guess I was just a little surprised. I was like, oh, like the whole big climax moment was about Hrathen. And I guess in hindsight, like, I guess this makes sense. Like, I don't know what else I would want to put there. So, and I think it did kind of go full circle of like rethinking your assumptions, because like they all assumed they knew what Hrathen was about, but then he like came back and surprised them all. So I think it was
and I think also just like a story about like it's never too late to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I think a lot of people feel like, because it was so hard for Hrathen to do the right thing, because in order to do so, he had to accept that he had done so many wrong things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, I'm a bad dude.
Yeah. he had to recognize that he wasn't their savior. He was actually their tormentor. And that was the only way he could actually become their savior.
Yeah.
So we've been potting now for like 3 hours. So I know we're all exhausted, but what are your final thoughts on the book?
Fun ride, elements that were really cool. Didn't like regret reading the book after I read it, so that's always a good thing, right? If I don't regret it. I would say that it definitely felt very rushed, as we said many times, towards the second half.
Yeah.
Did not like the final battle at all.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested in going back to this world.
Oh.
Do we see a part 2 on our hands? For the next 8 months?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Let's not get out of hand here, people.
All right, Chrissy, what were your thoughts?
I think kind of same. I really did enjoy the story. I really enjoyed all of our conversations about it. I think it had a lot of really good themes that we talked about like life and how to live. So I liked that. The ending was very rushed. It was kind of a wild time, but good overall.
Okay, so how many Bookaliciouses? How many what's our ranking game?
Like not just 1 to 10. Are we gonna have a
It could be a 1 to 10, but you know, like how many bookies or how many?
Oh, we're starting a new segment on the first book we finished.
Yeah. Like how many, what's going to be our award system?
How many fan emails?
0.
Oh, no. No. Okay. We'll just, for right now, it'll just be on a scale of 1 to 5. How many? 5 being great, 1 being don't read. 5 being recommend to a friend, 1 being don't read.
I would say 3.5 to a 4.
Okay.
It's like, it's a good book. I liked it. I think reading it along with listening to our podcast makes it an even better book.
I agree with that.
It is weird though, because I feel like I can never reread this book because I just know it in such detail at this moment. Like, I don't think I'll ever forget all of the detail.
There's no point.
No point. But I thought it was really good. Yeah, I'd recommend. What about
Sam,
you?
would you recommend to a friend or would you recommend to an enemy?
I mean, I recommend it to a friend with a caveat.
Yeah.
What's your caveat?
Right.
Watch out for part 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. There are books I would recommend ahead of it.
Yeah.
Right. There are books I would recommend ahead of it. And so I think that's, for me, a big aspect of it is that, yeah, I would definitely recommend books ahead of it.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. I think I would give it, even though I say this is my favorite Sanderson book and one of my favorite books, I think I would still give it a 4 out of 5, just because there was some turbulence in the plane craft to get like a perfect 5, because I think the story itself was really good and I liked the mystery and the intrigue and I liked how it felt for a lot of it very logical and thought out.
Yeah.
But the missteps where it got like a little shaky or a little like, okay, you have to suspend belief, and I don't think I can give you a full 5 if I'm having to suspend belief for a large segment of the book.
Yeah. Right. There's some character arcs I wish I'd gone a different way.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Okay, another segment we had when we first started this podcast 8 months ago was when we finish a book on that imaginary day, which has finally come, is what questions would you want to ask the author?
Oh, I think we've been asking them all the way.
We have. What's your top 2 or 3?
Did the end of the book come because of a deadline?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Does that explain?
Yeah, for sure.
Was this the horse meme?
Yeah. Did you run out of time?
That's good.
That's
good.
my question. Sam, what would be your question?
If I could ask him anything about the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I'm curious, like, how do you go and because he would have these like really crazy movements from like it's G, PG, and then it's like R. And
yeah.
So a little bit of like, what were you thinking there?
Yeah.
Like not in like a mean way, I think, but
just like the tone whiplash.
Yes, the tone whiplash. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Because it was like very jarring, where you're like, okay, everything's fine. Oh, look, they're shooting, just slit someone down the middle, and oh my god, he's eating their organs.
Next chapter.
Next chapter.
Oh my god.
All right, Chrissy, what's your question?
Okay, mine. I have two questions. One is, was Aiden added in as an afterthought? And second question is, if you could change anything about Dilof's character or his story arc, what would you change? And why? Because there's things I would change.
Those are great. Those are great.
Those are good ones. Oh, I think maybe another one would be, are you against fat people?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go there, you might as well start talking about, like, are you against women?
Are you against women? I think he would say no.
Yeah, did you hate Sarene also while writing this? We came around to her at the end, though. Like, this whole section we did today, there weren't really any bad Sarene moments.
No, aside from her weird penis joke.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird one. Well, I have one last thing. I mean, unless people have other things. But if we wanted to keep the party going later, there is a deleted scenes section of this book. And part of it does answer one of your questions, Candy, about the half-drawn horse meme, where in the deleted scenes, it's a whole other character that Sanderson had that he was going to introduce like 3/4 away through the book, who's going to be this major character who comes out of nowhere. And then he was like, basically, he said, my editor said no. So here's his deleted scenes.
I don't think I have that deleted scenes in this little paperback book that I have.
Does yours say 10,000 words of bonus content? Because I'm wondering if those are the 10,000 words.
Those must be the 10,000 words, because look, mine doesn't have it.
Oh, yeah, mine has a little medal.
Oh, I don't have the medal. Well, Chrissy, maybe you'll have to read it to me and tell me. Look what happened to my book, Sam.
Oh my gosh.
The whole thing's falling apart. Okay.
I think that is a metaphor of the plot.
3/4 of the way through, it just all comes off the rails.
The pages just start flying. They're out of order, but it doesn't matter because nothing makes sense anyway. Yeah. So would you want to do another fantasy epic like this on Bookalicious, Chrissy? Or is your palate quenched?
No, I mean, I liked it. I haven't read a lot of fantasy, so this was a nice change, and it was good reading a new book like that. Let's see. I feel like maybe a shorter book for at least the near future might be a good idea, just so we can finish some books.
It's so crazy because I didn't even think it was that long of a book.
Well, there's just so much that happens. I guess we didn't think we'd be going so slow because The Fault in Our Stars we did in 2 parts. We did broad strokes the whole time.
Yeah, I feel like because in The Fault in Our Stars, there's just really one storyline.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's a very, and I think that's something with YA is that it's normally just a very simple plot, Not a lot happening. Love triangle along the way. Who's the girl going to pick? She picks one. The end.
No, Sam, you gotta read The Fault in Our Stars. We need to do a reunion episode with The Fault in Our Stars because I think it's a great book and it has great themes. Brings up great questions about life.
We might need a brother tiebreaker. Okay. So that's it. How do you feel? Do you feel accomplished?
I don't know what I'm gonna do without Elantris.
I know. I'm kind of sad.
It's been so long.
I've really liked reading Elantris. I'm
It's
kind of
been
bummed that
fun.
now we're only going to have lessons in chemistry.
Oh no, I can't do it.
Just stop reading it.
No. Well, I do think with lessons in chemistry, we're on the uptick because I haven't been dreading the last few chapters. Like, I'm actually kind of excited to keep reading it now because things look good. And this is such a bestseller where I'm like, it has to be good in the end.
There's got to be some payoff. Yeah.
Gotta be.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is it. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
hanging out. Thank you, Sam, for sticking with us for over 3 hours. Wow. Exhausting.
Thank you.
This is hopefully going to be our winter rations for December.
I know.
You better parse it out.
Yeah. A
Chris is
10-minute
not coming
episodes
back.
each. I know.
I think we have a lot of content here. We can spread it out.
Yeah.
You do
Chris,
it
you better
by
watch out.
chapter.
I might have a new co-host by the time you come back.
Oh
We'll see.
no.
Listen,
kidding.
if you want to do a different book, I'll do a different book with you during December. But I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing.
Lessons in chemistry.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Maybe we can find like a short mini one or something to do in December.
Well, we could do a short mini one, or we could even maybe. I don't know if you want to do this, but like take one book and do it in like one episode on it or 2 episodes, and say, okay, we have to
Oh.
cover. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then
instead
it's
of
not
going
nearly
chapter by
as in
chapter.
depth. Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you want to do
We
some,
could-
some one-offs or something like that.
Yeah, that might be good to just get us through December. Okay. Well, this was great.
Cool.
Yay. Love you
Now I
guys.
hit stop recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you
Okay.
end, you'll get the file.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you like this discussion, please rate or subscribe to our channel to help other book lovers find this content as well. If you have any questions or suggestions for future books, we'd love to hear from you at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for joining our club.